Okay, I'm back. Okay. Okay, one more thing before we go into reading and analyzing the poem. This is going to help you answer some of the questions. So the lion and the lamb. This poem is about a tiger. I get that. But the writer of the poem, or the speaker, I should say, is still questioning these aspects of God's character. All right. And so there's a direct allusion to these two Bible verses, Revelation 5:5 and John 1:29. But one of the elders said to me, "Do not weep. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the Root of David, has prevailed to open the scroll and to loose its 7 seals." So Jesus is referred to as the Lion of Judah. And then also in John 1:29, the next day John saw Jesus coming toward him and said, "Behold, the Lamb of God who takes away the sin of the world." So Jesus is described as both the lion and the lamb, which seems like a paradox, right? And they are descriptions of two aspects of Jesus's nature. He is the victorious and conquering lion and the Lamb of God who took away the sin of the world. We're going to dive into that a little bit deeper as we get to the end of the poem. Okay, so I'm going to go back to these words. And read the poem. Here we go. So typically I would I'm going to ask your sub to play the YouTube video on the slides because it's like a cool British guy reading the poem and it's just going to be better than me. Okay, so pause the video and then come back and you'll start working on your questions. Okay. Okay, I was wrong. It was a woman, but she was British, so it was definitely cooler than me reading it. Okay, so you've read through the poem. Now is the time to start answering the questions. You have 12 questions to answer. You may work together, and then we'll come back and review them. Okay, here we go. I hope you got them all done. You are going to turn this in at the end of class. Okay, what question is asked in stanza 1? The question you should have identified is, what immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? This basically is asking what God or what immortal being could have made the tiger. It is so beautiful and so terrifying. Who could have possibly done it? Number 2, what word does the poet use to describe the tiger's symmetry, and what is the meaning? He uses the word fearful, and it is meant to conjure up fear in the way we usually think of fear, but it's also meant to conjure the idea of leaving a person in awe at how beautiful and how terrifying tigers are, okay? Number 3. In stanza 2, what does the speaker question about the creator of the tiger? Stanza 2. So stanza 2, the questions are, in what distant deeps or skies burnt the fire of thine eyes? On what wings dare he aspire? What the hand dare seize the fire? The speaker is asking, where is this guy from who made the tiger? Where could he possibly reside? Is he something like an angel? Does he have wings? Who would be so daring as to create an animal like the tiger? He literally uses the word dare. Who would be so bold, so brave as to create the tiger? Okay, moving on. Number 4. What tool was used to make the tiger's brain, and what are these tools used for? The poet says he uses a hammer, a chain, a furnace, an anvil, and a grasp. All of these are tools used for metalworking, as we discussed when looking at those definitions. Metalworking, I'm told, is super dangerous. You have to wear all this protective equipment. You have to be trained in it. You can't just like go start melting metal and making things out of it. It's dangerous. It's intense, and you have to be daring in order to engage in it. Okay, that's the intent behind that diction. Number 5, in lines 15 and 16, what is emphasized about the creator of the tiger? Lines 15 and 16 are, what the anvil, what dread grasp, dare its deadly terrors clasp. Again, that use of the word dare. The creator of the tiger must be very daring, must be and bold. Okay, number 6, who do you think the he is in stanza 5? Hopefully you picked up on this. It's not that subtle. He is God. Again, I gave you the information that William Blake did believe in God, was a Christian. So he inevitably is asking about God, okay? And he's wondering, after God made the tiger, did he look down on the tiger and smile? And then he's also asking, how did God make both the lamb and the tiger? Okay? I kind of jumped the gun here, but that's question number 7. What is the poet questioning in line 20? Did he who made the lamb make thee? So the question is, how could God have created both the tiger and the lamb? These creatures are so different in their very natures. One's a predator, one is prey. One is terrifying. One is like, you want to cuddle it, and it like makes sweaters, it's like, they're so cute. One growls, one is like, they bleat, right? They're adorable. So like, how did the same God create both of these things? And if we are believing that that is true, what does this say about God? What does it reveal to us about his character? Okay. Number 8, think about tigers and lambs. What could they represent symbolically? So hopefully you wrote something like, tigers can represent power and fierceness and danger. And lambs can represent like innocence and peace and sweetness. Okay. Number 9, what does it say about God that he created both the tiger and the lamb? Well, what it says is that God has both of these sides to his nature. He is the sacrificial lamb and he is the Lion of Judah. Okay? I know it's not the Tiger of Judah, but it still works. God loves justice and hates evil, and he is gracious and merciful. Okay? Both of these aspects reside in God at the exact same time. Okay. Number 10, identify some imagery used in the poem. How does the speaker's use of imagery and descriptive language to describe the tiger being made affect the mood of the poem? So some things you could have written down: fire, furnace, hammer, chain, burning, bright, forest, and night. All of these words work together to create a dark, mysterious, fearsome, and awesome mood. All right? This isn't like a cute poem. All right, you're not like, oh, like we're at the zoo and we're looking at tigers and we're having like a happy day. The mood of this poem is meant to be dark, mysterious, and awe-inspiring, okay, and leave you in wonder at who God is. Number 11, compare and contrast the first stanza and the last stanza. What word is different? So in the final line of stanza number 1, the speaker says, could frame thy fearful symmetry. And in the final line of the last stanza, he says, dare frame thy fearful symmetry. So could is replaced with dare. Everything else is exactly the same. The meaning of this is wondering not just who could create this fearsome beast, the tiger, but who would dare. Okay? And then number 12, connecting it back to pie and Richard Parker. If Richard Parker is symbolically pie, how does this poem connect to the story? Well, pie, and maybe if pie is like a representative of humanity, maybe all people contain these dual natures. If placed in the right circumstances, all people will do what they have to do to survive. Pie was a sweet, religious boy. However, when needed, he had the ferocity of a tiger in order to survive. All right, that's it. Make sure you have answers to all 12 of those questions, and make sure your name is on your paper. Go ahead and turn it in. And if there's any time left in class, you may do independent reading. And that's it. I will see you. Oh, I'll see you after Thanksgiving. Okay. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye.